Behind the stunts and giveaways is a machine so efficient it makes most companies look broken. But there's one thing MrBeast does that 99% of people will never copy. And it's the real reason he never burns out. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes and I'll show you exactly what it is. But even with all this power, one near-death moment almost destroyed everything. Until he used a rule normal people can steal today. That story is coming in part 3. Welcome to Vaultic Media, where we break down real business empires so you can steal the systems. No hype, no fake gurus, just the exact playbooks normal people can actually use. In part 1, we saw how Jimmy turned random videos into a viral machine. But here's what most people miss. Turning views into money is easy. Turning that money into a 5 billion empire? That's where it gets brutal. And the system he built next is the part almost nobody copies. Because it requires something most creators are scared to do. Let's go inside the machine. By 2019, MrBeast wasn't just growing fast, he was growing dangerously fast. Millions of views every video, hundreds of thousands of new subscribers every month. But the more the channel blew up, the more chaotic it became. He was still editing himself, still answering every email, still doing every single thing alone. And that almost killed him. Because when attention scales this fast, chaos scales even faster. One late upload, one bad video, one burnout moment, and the whole thing could collapse. So Jimmy made a decision most creators fear. He stopped trying to do everything himself. He started building a real team, but not just any team. He built a team that runs like a military operation. People who wake up thinking about one thing only. How do we make the next video bigger than the last? He hired editors who were better than him. He hired researchers who found ideas faster than he could. He hired producers who handled the insane logistics of giving away millions. And here's what shocks most people. He gave them real power. Not just tasks, actual decision-making power. If an editor thought a video needed to be longer, they could change it. If a producer thought a stunt was too dangerous, they could kill it. Most creators say, "I could never trust anyone else with my channel." MrBeast said the opposite. And that single decision became the foundation of his empire. But delegation alone wasn't enough. Even with a great team, he was still spending every dollar that came in. On bigger stunts, on more giveaways, on whatever made the next video pop. Until he made another brutal choice. He started reinvesting almost everything. 99% of every dollar. Back into the channel, back into the team, back into new systems. Most creators would have cashed out, bought the car, moved into the big house, took the easy lifestyle. But Jimmy lived like he was still broke, and poured every extra cent back into the machine. This created a compounding flywheel. Every dollar reinvested made the next video better. Better videos brought more views. More views brought more money. More money got reinvested again. But he didn't just reinvest in videos. He started turning attention into real assets. Merchandise, his own chocolate brand, his own food company, even a full media production company. Because he understood something most creators never figure out. Attention is temporary. Assets last forever. So every viral video became marketing for his own companies. And the numbers went insane. Feastables did over 100 million in its first year. MrBeast Burger locations popped up everywhere. His team grew to over 300 people. All powered by the same audience. All built on the same brutal systems. But even with all this success, there was still one moment that almost ended everything. A moment so dark, most people outside his inner circle still don't know about it. The channel was exploding, money was pouring in, the team was firing on all cylinders, but behind the scenes, Jimmy was falling apart. Burnout hit him hard, 18-hour days, sleeping in the office, questioning if any of it was worth it. And for the first time, he almost walked away, almost shut the whole thing down. But instead of quitting, he used one final rule. A rule so simple, yet so powerful, that it saved the empire. And it's the same rule normal people can steal today to build their own systems without burning out. In part 3, we're going to break down exactly what that rule is. Plus, the 3 stealable systems that turn MrBeast from a YouTuber into a 5 billion empire. And the exact action steps you can start using tomorrow. Because once you see how he protects his energy, you'll understand why most creators burn out and quit, while a few build empires that last for decades. But before we get to that rule, you need to understand why burnout happens in the first place. Because most people think burnout comes from working too hard. They think the problem is effort. But the reality is something completely different. Burnout doesn't come from working hard. It comes from working without control, working without systems, working without a clear path forward that actually reduces pressure over time. Jimmy wasn't just tired. He was overloaded. Too many decisions stacking up every single day. Too many responsibilities pulling him in different directions at once. And that's exactly what destroys most creators. Not lack of talent, not lack of opportunity, but the complete absence of structure behind their work. So instead of slowing down, he did something counterintuitive. He didn't take a break. He didn't step away. He doubled down on building systems that could carry the weight. He started removing himself from decisions that didn't require him, automating what could be automated, delegating what could be delegated, and simplifying everything else. Because he realized something most people never do. You don't scale by doing more and more every day. You scale by removing what doesn't actually matter. This is where the real shift happened. Jimmy stopped acting like the worker inside the system, and he started acting like the operator of the system. Instead of asking, "What do I need to do today?" he started asking a better question. What system needs to run today? And that changed how everything worked. And that single shift changed everything. Because systems don't burn out over time, people do. Systems just keep running, improving, and scaling. Once the systems were in place, the pressure started to disappear. The team handled execution at scale, and the structure handled consistency without constant effort. And Jimmy could finally focus on the one thing that mattered most. The ideas that drove everything forward. The concepts that made videos impossible to ignore. That's the real secret behind his consistency. It wasn't motivation, it wasn't discipline. It was the systems working quietly in the background every single day. Because when everything depends on you, you become the bottleneck. Growth slows down, pressure increases, and eventually everything starts breaking. But when everything runs on systems, you become unstoppable. Work scales without you. Results multiply without constant effort. And the pressure starts to disappear. And this is the part most people ignore, because building systems is slower at the start, harder at the start, and far less exciting than chasing quick wins. But over time, it becomes your biggest advantage. While others burn out and quit, you keep scaling. While others slow down, you accelerate without breaking. And that's the real lesson behind everything you just saw. It's not about working harder than everyone else. It's about building something that works even when you don't. Because that's where real freedom actually comes from. Most people will hear this and go right back to doing everything themselves. Back to chasing views. Back to chasing quick wins. Back to staying stuck in the same cycle that keeps them small. But a few people will see this differently. They'll start thinking in systems. They'll start removing themselves from the chaos. And they'll start building something that actually scales. And those people are the ones who win long term. Not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, but because they're playing a completely different game. So the question isn't whether this works. The question is, are you going to use it? Because the moment you stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like an operator, everything changes. Because once you make that shift, you stop chasing outcomes and start building systems that produce outcomes automatically. And that's when growth stops being stressful and starts becoming predictable. You're no longer reacting to problems every day. You're designing systems that prevent problems before they even happen. And that's what separates operators from everyone else. This is how small creators turn into businesses. and how businesses turn into empires. Not through luck, but through systems that compound over time. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start building your first system today, even if it's small, even if it's messy. Because the sooner you start, the sooner everything begins to scale. And once it does, you'll realize this was never about working harder. It was about working smarter from the very beginning. So if you want the final piece of the MrBeast playbook, watch part 3 right now. And subscribe to Vaultic Media. Because here we don't just tell stories. We break down the system so you can build your own empire.